Hey everybody, it's Claire. I was trying to find some new music on YouTube and I couldn't. I finally found the perfect music because, my Epidemic Sound subscription is expired and I'll get a copyright strike if I try to use the same music as the intro or whatever, the countdown. And I finally found one and uh, took a long time. There is a lot of good stuff in there, but it's a mixed batch, and it took me a while, and I couldn't really find exactly what I wanted. So I do miss my Epidemic Sound subscription. I admit it. I really thought I'd be all right, but yeah, they make it a lot easier to find your music. And I am not being sponsored by Epidemic Sound or anyone. Um, but yeah, I guess I proved it used to be better on YouTube, but Epidemic Sound took over, and all the good stuff is over there. I mean, or at least more of a variety. They're more professional, but there is good stuff on YouTube too. If you can't do Epidemic Sound, there is good stuff. I found a number of good things. I just was looking for a specific feeling, and then I realized that I have to find another visual. I have to redo my everything, and I just had, I thought I could do it in 20 minutes, half hour. No, it's going to take a lot more time. So didn't get it together, but here I am anyway. Um, Recently I came across a YouTube video where somebody, and I see that Moscow PD has put out their investigative reports to be fully transparent and all that stuff. And people are going through them. I don't know. It just seems so tiring to me. But I wasn't going to go through them. I figured, oh, if I'm in them, I'd hear about it. And somebody was mentioning a tip that was inside these documents. And I was a tip. I was the tips. I mean, plural. I gave them more than one tip. I was the tip. I'll just call it a tip. It's many, many emails that I sent. It was me who enabled Moscow PD to arrest Bryan Kohberger. Okay, it was my tip alone. I know it. I know it was like finding a needle in the haystack. There was no other tip that brought them to him. And I had no idea that his true identity, all I knew was that it was David Craig who did what happened in Idaho. It was nobody else. Nobody else could have achieved that but David. My ex-boyfriend, David. He was my ex-boyfriend. He was my boyfriend in 1994. And he, Killed, my brand new husband, Ron Goldman. And my mind just kind of snipped him out, edited him out. And I never even remembered that I knew Ron for almost a decade. That's how I dealt with my trauma. The FBI was there. There they were conducting their own investigation because they saw that the LAPD was not being honest with their investigation. And I'm their star witness, the FBI's star witness. And back then they said everybody needed about 20 years to heal. I was their star witness. They wanted to make sure, especially I healed, because I was in a state of severe trauma. Couldn't remember anything from day to day. But they knew I would heal and I would be able to remember everything to speak to you today. But here it is, 31 years later, after the MURDERS in 1994, and nobody knows the truth still. I've been talking about it, but the problem is I'm classified top secret, and until I'm declassified, no one's going to find out anything, and I'm just going to sit here entertaining myself online. I'm really tired of doing that. I wasn't born for no reason at all. I wouldn't be here if the truth was not going to be released and fully released. I'm not here to just live my life and obscurity and die without fulfilling my mission. I wouldn't be here right now talking to you if I was not meant to fulfill my mission. I wasn't born for no reason at all. I'm not some chump on a block sitting, on my ass, No, I'm not a crazy lady, crazy woman, crazy idiot. No, there's, I guess they just want to know if I'm ready. And this is how I prove that I'm ready. But I'm tired of making up excuses. I'm so tired of this, and to see Bill Thompson making the rounds talking about how there's nothing to see here. We didn't have any evidence, nothing. Yeah. So how did you find out about Bill Kohberger? That's bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very bad cause, Bill Thompson. If this is really what you're about, yeah, the patriarchy trying to protect the fragile females of the world. I mean, look at them at the hearing. We have to protect them from the truth. The public can't handle the truth. We got to bury this thing. We got to cover it up, right? And it's on all the father role models, the patriarchy, to be in total domination and control of our information so that nobody dies of heart attacks and faints on the spot, right? Yeah. Well, they wouldn't be so fragile if they weren't obstructing the truth and just keeping it for themselves. I don't know. I guess they get a thrill out of that. Anyway, I really have faith in Bill Thompson. I really do. I really believe that he has no choice but to cover up the truth. The Judge Hippler as well. There's a process going on. It really was my declassification hearing. I really am sure of it. That hearing on the 23rd, that's, when Bryan Kohberger was sentenced to life in prison, like it was like 4 life terms, plus burglary for 10 years, and plus all these all this money, all these, I don't know what they're called, fees. He has to pay money for each victim. Only 50,000 a victim. I don't remember, 5 for the burglary. I mean, it's not very much. It's just symbolic. I mean, each of their lives was precious and irreplaceable and priceless. Um, Yeah, this was my declassification hearing. I really want to believe it was, because what they did was they put away the person um, who helped Larry Shaw extend my classification. I really do believe that David, who is the true identity of Bryan Kohberger, who was born in 1994 after the murders in November, he's wearing a mask. I wanted him to take that mask off, but everybody, including the judge, said, he said that he was unmasked. The killer has been unmasked. He literally said as he sentenced him. They wanted to shut that down. They didn't want him to get any more publicity, any more attention than he's already gotten. He had a long run. But when Ann Taylor stumbled upon my tip, which she announced in court, I mean, she didn't say whose tip it was. She said she had come across a tip who implicated someone else and that she needs to investigate. She needed more time. They weren't going to be ready to go because she had to go investigate this whole thing. It was a huge thing. And that was my tip that she finally stumbled upon. I don't know. She probably stumbled upon it a long time ago and just pretended it was recently. I don't really know, because it's hard to believe she didn't know about me. Her client has security clearance. I don't think he has top secret security clearance, and maybe he didn't know everything about me, and that's why he was confused when we were together a long time ago in 1994. I don't think he really understood what he was doing to me while collaborating with Larry Shaw, who classified me top secret in the first place when I was home alone at age 9 in 1975. Larry Shaw forced me to sign many documents. I'm estimating about 5 to 10. I don't know. It was a lot of documents. I think about five. I'm thinking about five. And he layered them on top of each other. And he's like, don't look. He like was covering up the top page, but they were all like fanned out below. So only the signature space were visible. And I just signed my name, and I had no lawyer present. I had no parent present. I was 9 years old, and I really wanted to believe that Larry was trying to help me. Little did I know he was committing a crime he did not think I was going to survive into adulthood. He did not think I would ever live to tell any story. And he was going to replace me with his future daughter, which he ordered up. His daughter, Vanessa Shaw, is my genetic daughter. He wanted her taller than me. He looked at me. I was standing there. I want her nose thinner. I have a wide nose. And they said, oh, do you want it sloping like, your wife's nose? Yeah, that would be good. Susan Shaw. Well, now she's Susan DeMonte. Yeah, that'd be all right. And then straighter hair. She didn't like my waves. Straighter hair, a little lighter. I think Vanessa has the same color hair as me, pretty much. Less, he wanted brown eyes, like I guess like himself. Smaller eyes. Mine were too big. Longer legs. My legs are a little shorter. I'm not a tall girl. I mean, when I was in third grade at the time. I was 9. Was I in third? I mean, I remember being in third grade. Yeah, it was the summer after third grade. I was still 9. And I was wearing my shorts, and I was a cute little girl. But yeah, I didn't have those long legs that would make me tall. I wasn't like the tall. Well, I was one of the tallest girls in my class because I was a little older. But yeah, I didn't have the long legs. I had shapely, medium legs. I wouldn't call them short legs, but they're just not long. And he wanted longer legs, to have that model look, I guess. Those are the things that he didn't like about me. My nose. He wanted my hair straighter. He wanted my eyes brown and smaller. Almond shaped. He wanted. Was it? I'm not. And yeah, and I don't know if he mentioned my skin. She has more of an olive complexion than I do, so maybe he did mention her skin. Longer legs. And so Vanessa Shaw is the new and improved version of Claire. Okay. I was going to go in the garbage can, and he was going to see to it. He was going to see to it. Him and his group of, CIA, NSA, whatever they're called, groupies. I don't know what they are. He was 30 years old. He didn't even have. He might have gotten his bachelor's in psychology, but he was not a licensed therapist. He was working under a licensed therapist in the CIA, probably, and but he himself was not one. And they buried me before I died. They literally buried me. They killed me without killing me. I mean, I haven't had a life, and I'm 59, almost 60 years old on October 21st, not 1965 is my birthday. But this year I turned 60 in October 21st. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for my birthday. I really have no idea at this point. July 23rd was the day that I was classified. It's the exact day. And Judge Hippler chose that day to hold the sentencing hearing for Bryan Kohberger. That is not a coincidence. And it was July 2nd that they had the plea deal hearing where he pled guilty. That's Bryan Kohberger. And that was the day I was told I would be declassified. That's Ron Goldman's birthday, July 2nd. And that's when Judge Hippler put together that hearing where he pled guilty. And on June 30th, I made my first video in a long time. And it's so funny. That's the day that Bryan Kohberger signed the plea deal. I mean, Nietzsche and Buddhists, we don't believe in coincidences, and it's no coincidence. Coincidence. It's the CIA, letting everyone know without letting them know, because they're so tricky and so, they think they're so clever. They got to keep this nation's secrets secret, right? And I'm their best kept secret. Hi. And they got to keep me secret until I'm actually declassified. Otherwise, they go to jail, whatever. It's a huge thing. And I mean, you're going to try and keep me secret for the rest. I mean, you're going to try and do that. You're going to bury me for the rest of my life. I can't even believe that, to do that, that would be murdering me. That would be slaughtering me. Okay. I just can't believe that Bill Thompson and Judge Hippler would see that as any kind of ethical thing to do in the name of protecting those fragile females in Idaho. Oh, we have a responsibility to protect all the fragile females of the world. We're the patriarchy, and that's our job. And women can't handle the truth, so we gotta manage it for them. Treat us like children, like. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, sorry for everything that has happened, but, nobody has suffered more than me. And anyway, I didn't mean for this to be this, me ranting and raving here. Let me take out these documents and check them out. I mean, I really hope, I don't know, I know, I am in the process of being declassified. I mean, I don't know what the hell has taken so freaking long. I mean, you've known me, you've known about me forever and ever. I've been classified for 50 years as of July 23rd, the day of Bryan Kohberger's sentencing hearing, where he was sentenced to life times 5 in prison for for 5 times his lifetime. And that was the day I was classified as a 9-year-old girl home alone in Old Greenwich, Connecticut in 1975. Okay, 50 years. That's most of my life. And still waiting to turn 18 at this point. Still waiting. I've never been allowed to be a full-fledged member of our society. So let's bring these up. I'm sorry I didn't get it all ready. I was all focused on getting some music, and I couldn't. I didn't get it together in time. I guess I needed a couple hours. I just can't believe it. Everything takes so long. I just wanted to find some music. I'm not going to slap any music up, okay? And I couldn't find the right music on YouTube, okay? Because Epidemic Sound, my subscription has expired. I can't afford to pay anything. We had to go to the food pantry yesterday for the first time ever. I mean, here in Hornell. It was actually pretty good. We're gonna last till Friday. My dogs are running out of food, but I can feed them some rice and some beans or something. It'll be 2 days that they'll be living on rice and beans. We got quite a bit. Wegmans delivers some food off their shelves on every Monday and Friday around here, and it's okay. We're gonna survive till Friday. I've got utilities on 2 properties on my ass. I mean, I've paid most of it up here. It's really, I'm getting used to it. I mean, it's a new level of stress that I'm not used to. I'm used to paying my bills just barely, but it's just gotten so bad. We can't carry 2 properties anymore. Anyway, okay, let me get these documents. I have them. I have to think about where I have them, and I'll bring them up on the screen. Okay. Sorry for not doing this ahead of time. This is my life. Okay. All right. Where is this? I know I have a file for them. Documents. Here we go. All right. have to open them. They're all in zip, so that means there's a lot of documents. That's why nobody has found me yet. I really hope they didn't wipe it clean of Claire. I really hope they didn't. I haven't looked at these yet. Okay, I wanted to put my live reaction on here. Okay, I guess there's more than I realized. I saw like 150, people going, listing them on their thumbnails, going through every document. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zip files, and I unpacked them. All right, so let's start with this one. Oh my goodness, yeah, these are a lot. It's gonna take a long time. This is the general narrative. It wouldn't be in here. Okay, 51 to 100. I have no idea. I guess we'll just have to glance. I'm just going to glance through them. This is like my introductory. I figure I should probably go back. Okay, yeah. 301 to 314. It would be early on, but it would be early on before they caught him. So that would be the first. This is the introductory. This is like the general one, and then they have the reports. But where are the tips? All right. Yeah, the general ones wouldn't have it in there. And I've seen people put, 51 to 100 and 101 to 50, 150. I haven't seen beyond that. Where are the tips? I don't know if I should go through the general. Let's just go through. Okay, they're in order. This is up through 50. Right. Yeah. It would be early on. I should start with the beginning, but I'm sure somebody would have stumbled upon me if I'm in here. All right. So all right, I'm going to put this on my screen. Let me just this is a different screen. Where am I here? Share. It's a different. I don't think it's going to show up in my window. So how am I supposed to do this? Okay, it has a window. Okay. Here we go. Is that it? I think it is. Let me make sure. I guess I'll have to do my window. I'm sorry. Sorry to be not all set up and ready to go. There it is. This is it. Okay. Window. All right, we'll leave it like that. That sounds good. How do I get rid of this thing? All right, we're just going to glance through these. I'm not going to go deeply into this. These are subpoenaed people. Let's see them. This is 2025. Yes. Okay, here we go. All right. One of these involved witness mentioned. These are all okay. Victim, Madison Mogan. See, these are the victims. Mention involved. Mention complainant. Okay, charged with. Yeah, it was just within a week that they put out the hotline, right? And what is this assigned? This is a list of what? Narrative? Um, Reno, Nevada. Moscow. This is the incident. And these are involvements, so that wouldn't be it, right? This is the initial report, right? What is this? This is all the evidence. But what about tips? I want to know where tips are. Evidence incident. Okay. Evidence incident. This is all the evidence they have, supposedly. Evidence incident. This is all like evidence from the scene, right? And then what is this? DS. Yeah, this is more recent. I don't know what that is. Maybe all the people working on the case. I don't know. I don't know what this means. Mm, okay, that's the narrative of what happened. I'll be going through this on my other channel. I figure, I might as well put that other channel to use. It is a specific audience that's interested in true crime, and this is more true crime, hardcore true crime. I mean, my my channels definitely overlap because I have so many. It's really hard to know how to present my life to the public because I just have so many things in my life. I mean, so many different audiences are interested in me for different reasons, and I guess it is better to separate them into different channels. It's just so much for little old me to handle. I just love to just slap everything up in one place, but YouTube just I've never really taken off because I'm just all the algorithm can't comprehend me. It can't organize me. It doesn't know what to it's I confuse the YouTube algorithm, let's be honest. All right. So those documents didn't yield anything that I can see. Let's go to a different document. Stop this one and let me go to this other place. Not there. Oh, where is it? Home. That's not where it is. Okay, here are all my documents. Okay, so this is, oh gosh, there's so many things. This is just the first report, or the first batch, and yeah, this is going to take too much time. Is this it? That was what I just looked at. Okay, this is supplement one. Let's share this. Here we go. Okay. Let's make this a little bigger. This is the narrative about what happened. That's nothing. I mean, it's not nothing. It is something very important, but okay, look at this. It's July 8th. Okay. I guess this is when they printed this up. Yeah, I'm just not interested in the narrative right now. Let me go get a different one. Okay, so you can see all of that. Okay, so you can see all of that, huh? Oh, wow. Okay, so I can go here so you can see. Can you see all of this? All right, no, you can't. All right, what about this one? There we go. Shoot. Here we go. It keeps making it smaller. This is just narrative of the scene. Very important, I know. I just I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be, maybe this was a waste of time. Maybe it's something I have to go and study through before I present it. I was really hoping to, have a reaction. Okay, let's try this. Maybe I should try and search for the word tip, right? Maybe I should do that. Okay, I have all the documents. I don't know what you can see here. Okay, you can't see it, but I'm going to search and see if there's the word tip. Tips. Snack. Okay, it's not finding one in the first thing. Okay, and this is the general reports. All right, let's try the second one. Is this the second one? Yes, 51, starting with 51. Let's search for tip. Not my computer. All right, I don't think there's anything there. All right, so let's try the next report, 101 to 150. Tip. I mean, I think something would show up by now. Nothing. Okay. Let's try. That was 101, right? I think it was. What was that? 15. Okay, let me just try 101. I just want to make sure I didn't skip anything. 101. Tip. All right. 151 to 20. All right. Tip. All right. None there. Okay, I said 151 to 20. 200, I mean. All right, let's try 201 to 250. These are report supplements 201 to 250. Let's look for the word tip in anything. See if anything comes up. My computer has lots that comes up, but I have to switch it to the actual report to see if the word tip comes up, and nothing comes up. All right, let's see. And that was, make sure I got it right. That's 201 to 250 and 251 to 300. Let's search for tip. Is there the word tip in any of these documents? No. Okay. $301 to $314. Let's search it for the word tip. Oh. Okay. That was all 7. Yeah, let's just do the general one. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Tip. General narrative. Nothing. I guess you're getting my live reaction. Was this YouTuber? I don't know. She was some random person I came across. Not anybody I follow. She was talking about a tip. That there was somebody who had put in a tip, and that they were disregarding the tip because he was pulled over. He was pulled over for something, and he happens to be from Pennsylvania also. And I don't know. And it led me to believe that maybe there were tips in all of this on all of these documents, but there's not. None of the tips are being made public. Is that something that the court will do shortly? Why? It was the police that I sent the tip to. It was the tip. It was the police, the Moscow PD tip line, hotline. I guess I can bring it up. I mean, one day I'll make a video and post, make public what my tips were, and show that I sent them to the Moscow PD hotline. It was hotline at I don't know what it was. Hotline. It was the tip hotline that they made public and made such a big thing about back then. Please, any tips are welcome, any information, and they admitted that they had to go through a lot of, irrelevant material but they really appreciated the information they were receiving. And that's why I kept sending them tips. And it's a very interesting, I guess I'll make it public if they don't. I mean, I don't know what that will do for my case or for my life, but it's interesting. It's interesting material, and I can probably go through what the timeline was when let me stop sharing this. When I sent it, the date I sent it, and what it was before I sent that, they had nothing. They had nothing. And it was, I know they set up the tip line the first week after the M's and, the tragedy. And it was the same week, maybe a week later or so. I remember hearing recently, it was like the same week. And that as soon as they set it up, that's when I started sending my emails. And I will go through that and present it in a video, I guess. And we'll go through the timeline. And, I sent, they didn't have anything. They didn't know where to start. And then they got my tips. And then that's when that first week. So the 13th was when everything happened. And it was probably by Thursday that they set up the hotline or so. So it was that week that I sent my first email. And so Thursday, 13 is Sunday, 14, 15, 16, 17th, 18th. That's the date. Uh, isn't that, that's a, isn't that Makaguchi, Sensaburo Makaguchi's birthday? Or not his death day, is it? I think it's his birthday on the 18th. Maybe that's when they got my email on that Nichiren Buddhist very important anniversary. Um, yeah, and that's 2022. And about a year later, my genetic father, Daisaku Ikeda, passed away. Very interesting. I didn't really understand why he chose the 15th to have, we choose our death. And especially Daisaku Ikeda, he would have had a choice. And he chose that day. Maybe that's the day that I sent my email, but it sounds like they didn't set it up yet. So I don't know. I have to look it up. I'll make a video about it. And I guess I'll put it on. I changed the name of my other channel. It was the Zodiac Killer's Daughter, because my father was the Zodiac, and I changed it. And everybody in the true crime community, they want receipts, and I don't have them because the CIA has them all. Okay, there are situations when somebody's telling the bona fide, straight ass truth, and they don't have their receipts because somebody else is holding them hostage. Okay, there are situations like that, and I'm the exception to the rule. Okay, I'm not making up anything. I'm telling you, I'm top secret, and the government, the U.S. government, is in control of my life and in control of the receipts that you require to believe anything that I say. And I got a little discouraged, and I just thought, oh, I guess true crime is not where I should park myself on YouTube. And I just gave up on it. I've tried different things. I don't know. My life is top secret, and I'm limited. And I really have been trying to focus on Claire Speaks Life, because that's where I've posted the most over the years and have the most subscribers. I used to have more options on this channel. I think I can go live with my phone on this channel. I can't do that with newer channels. So I figured it might be good, to focus on this channel. But there are different audiences. This is kind of a celebrity story channel. I guess it's ended up to be. It's my stories, my celebrity stories, but I'm also a Nichiren Buddhist. You know, the royal family is in my life. Everything's true crime. It's just so many different audiences that would be interested in me. But the algorithm is like schizophrenic. It can't like combine and mix up anything, and it can't connect different parts of its brain. It's a schizophrenic algorithm here on YouTube. Every algorithm, because they're computers, they're, I guess, by nature, they're chopped up. They can't connect the information together to think like a human, and that's what makes humans so special. I mean, algorithms, computers are like schizophrenic. They can't like put things together. Okay, true crime over here, royal family over here, healing business over here, celebrity stories over here. A human can put it all together. But yes, okay, there's no better way right now to push videos out to different audiences. You have to separate them into different channels, which creates a lot of work for a creator. I wish there was a way to bring it together under one umbrella, so we wouldn't have to create all different kinds of channels for our stuff. I mean, in my situation, it's really tedious. I guess most people don't have so many niches in their life, and these are just like skimming the surface. I mean, these are just basic niches that that are in my life. So there are no tips in these latest reports. I guess those are what will be released when everything's ready. I am in the process of being declassified. That, you know, Judge Hitler, he put away. I mean, not Larry Shaw. I mean, I think Larry Shaw is still walking around a free man, but he put away. I mean, but David, who is Bryan Kohberger, he personally knew me, and Larry Shaw couldn't have done what he did in 1994 if he hadn't operated through David and got me falsely, mislabeled and, um, like he had initially done in 1975, and he had to manage Claire. Claire had shown up. She survived. In 94, I was 28 years old. I survived into my 20s. So he was going to make sure I didn't survive into my 30s. He was going to, if he couldn't like come, go to my house and literally end my life, he was going to end my life as I knew it, so to speak. And that's what he did. I mean, his daughter was up and coming, Vanessa. That was the summer. It was the summer of was it was it 90? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, I guess it was I think it was 91. Yeah, I was 25, she was 15, and I witnessed she was up and coming in her career. I'm sure Larry was like, "Oh, I got to keep Claire down because I got my daughter, Vanessa. The she's the future of this organization, and Claire will, Claire is the legal one, but I gotta like wipe her out. She survived. I can't believe she's alive, so I'm gonna wipe her out some other way." And he used David, my boyfriend at the time, to wipe me out. And I don't believe David had the clearance to understand what he was doing to me. I believe he didn't understand who I was. He knew about, they called her Princess. That was my nickname, I guess. I'm really Queen, but when you're a young person, Princess seems appropriate, not Queen. I was born Queen, okay, in 1965, but yeah, Princess was the nickname they used for me before they knew who I was. And he knew about her, but he didn't know it was me. This is the delusion that is spread by the CIA. They just manipulate people, tell them a little of the information. Like David had the clearance to know about the information and be all excited trying to find this woman. And I gotta like ditch Claire so we can find Princess. And meanwhile, I'm Princess. He doesn't know it, right? So crazy. I'm not crazy. My life story is. Okay. Um, yeah, I know David's feeling really ridiculous about now. Let's just put it that way. Um, yeah, I guess it's Judge Hitler who's going to unseal those documents with the tips, right? I mean, they're not, I mean, I sent them to the police department. You'd think that the police would release them, not the court. But perhaps the tips are part of the evidence in the court documents that are sealed. And Ann Taylor didn't start mentioning this one tip that implicated somebody else that she needed to investigate until the very end, before he decided to go for a plea deal. Yeah, they saw my tips, and David was like, "I'm done. I'm not going to win this thing." And it's so ridiculous to hear Bill Thompson talk about how they didn't have any evidence. I mean, we didn't have anything. That's why, we just can, we just tricked them to thinking we had evidence against them. I mean, Ann Taylor saw all the evidence, okay? And she urged him to go for a plea deal. And yeah, he grabbed it. And I couldn't even believe it when David said guilty. I mean, like, it wasn't like guilty. It was like guilty. Yes. I mean, he was very, very forceful in his answers, because he knows this is his opportunity to change his karma and become enlightened in this lifetime. Okay, even devils can become enlightened. And when you are no longer alive, you have your choices become more limited. Yes, there are options, but you want to change your karma now. You want to you want enlightenment now. You don't want to wait till you die and deal with all that you did in your life, and because you're not going to be able to change it like you can when you're alive. And he just he reached a certain level, a new level of enlightenment, let's just put it that way. And he knows it's better for him to be in a jail cell for the rest of his life, chanting or doing whatever. I don't know if he chants anymore. I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard of anybody hearing him chant. I know he probably chants in his head or under his breath. Nobody hears. Um, I can't even. He doesn't even need a gongyo book. He knows it by heart. He swears by gongyo. And he never very very rarely ever missed a gongyo ever. This was my issue with gongyo. When I was back then, I just the ritual of doing gongyo. I just all the worst people in my life never missed a gongyo, and I'm like, I don't want to do gongyo. The whole point is that's not even the essential practice. It's chanting, Nam with Myoho Renge Kyo, which is called Daimoku in Nichiren Buddhism. I've been working on my Buddhist channel. Buddhism is the Truth. It's down on my profile. I have the playlist available for you to check out, or you can just go to my username is at Buddhism is the Truth on YouTube. I've been working, done a couple videos there. I'm going to be posting more. I haven't really worked on my shorts channel so much. I have so much to say, and I know that I need to create a new YouTube channel for YouTube tips. Not that I've succeeded at YouTube quite yet. It's just going to be my journey, my YouTube journey channel. I have to create a new channel because I discovered something about shorts that is very important that people don't talk about with new channels. And yeah, you don't want to put, you don't, they reward you for posting shorts, but you get paid so little for shorts compared to long content. And you kind of have to decide whether it's going to be a shorts channel or a long content channel. I love doing shorts. I really do, but I created a new channel to separate it from this long content channel. Anyway, I guess that's it. But I guess, the bottom line is this whole case has been about the CIA, because Bryan Kohberger's true identity, first of all, he's a disguise. Okay. He's a CIA operative, and he was, the guy who was born Bryan Kohberger, he KILLED'd him to take his place, because David, he wants to relive his life and he can't, so he lived through him. He David missed the boat in his own life, and he was living, reliving his life. He's already gone to college, gotten his bachelor's, and it was his fantasy to get a PhD. And he's a very good student because he's already gone through college, and he got another bachelor's, and then he got a master's, and then he was on to his PhD, but it didn't go very well. Not, in 2022, a lot of things happened in David's life. His mother died, his niece died. I found out about my father dying in that year, wasn't told, wasn't informed. And then he discovered I wasn't informed about my mother's death when she died on October 5th of that year. And that pissed David off. And that was the trigger, when he saw that I was in New York City. I had no idea about my mother's death, and he was furious. That was the trigger, that really pushed him over the edge. He might not have found out right away. He might have looked me up later, closer to the date that this happened, and that was it. Okay. Nothing Nothing new to report, nothing exciting, just a rehash of everything. What else can I do? The CIA leaves me nothing. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, CIA. Waiting for somebody to introduce me to start releasing. I know it's a lot of information. Okay, maybe it's Judge Hitler. Okay, it's looking to see him unseal the documents that will give me a life. And I was done away a long time ago, done away with, and I'm very sad that you know this hasn't come out sooner, or that we wouldn't have other people who've been done away with. And it's time for this victim to have a life. And I urge Judge Hitler to have compassion on, for me. And I know they do, and for all the victims. And this is why Bryan Kohberger, David, is put away now, and we will never be harmed by him again. But now it's time to give this victim her life for the first time. The last, 9 years old. I wasn't even allowed to grow up before I was classified top secret, and I really want to turn 18 at age 59, and I'm looking to Judge Hitler to do that for me. I hate, like, going through this. I'm sure people think, oh, she's never going to be declassified. She's just been thrown away. They couldn't kill her, so they're killing her identity in society. That's what a lot of people might think. And okay, go ahead and think that. It's not the truth. It's just what you want to believe. And my money, my assets have my name on it, and they don't belong to anyone but me. So it's not up for grabs. You might be getting payouts, but it's in my bank accounts and my name, my securities accounts. It's in my name. Nobody else can, it's not up for anybody else to take control of. There are people managing it in my absence, but it's mine. I'm the owner. I'm the sole owner, and I will always be the sole owner. As long as I'm alive, and I'm not going to die. Okay, because I've died many times, and they keep putting me back here. Heaven keeps putting me back here. Why is that? I wonder why. Do you think that if I was going to be thrown away, I think that heaven would take me with open arms, and I wouldn't be here anymore. I'm here for a reason, because it's time. It's time that the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth be revealed for all to see. And really, it is much better than this chaos that we're looking at in this world. This world is a crazy house. It's a house on fire, and nobody is happy. And everybody's confused. Everybody's traumatized. The whole truth and nothing but the truth would be a lot more healing and calming, and it would be a relief for everyone, even us little fragile females. Yeah, you trying so hard to protect, because you don't want us to have heart attacks and die, right? Yeah. All right. Over and out. Peace out.